This week, we're going to join team member Cody Griffen in Southern Ohio as he harvests a really nice buck in muzzleloader season. But before that even happens, you're going to see Cody encounter a really giant buck in Southern Ohio and go through some heartfelt moments that's all part of deer season. So stay tuned and watch this great episode of Whitetail Edge.
Was this deer taken during the archery season?
How can anybody do this, man?
For archery, press 1. For gun, press 2.
Welcome to Season 2 of Whitetail Edge.
What type of bow was used?
We killed 11 bucks, averaging 161 inches across the board.
For a buck with antlers, press 1.
We hope you enjoy it.
Whitetail Edge is presented by Black Widow Deer Lures.
You know, it's always been a passion of mine to chase whitetails, and my favorite thing to do is chase them with a bow. And me and Holden, we started hanging out whenever we were seniors in high school, and we both loved to chase big deer. But the funny thing is, you know, for years, me and him wouldn't hunt together, and anytime we seen a big deer, had pictures of big deer, we wouldn't share it with each other, you know. So it wasn't until about 3-4 years ago we started hunting together, and I don't like to spend my time in the tree with very many other people besides him and my wife. So we actually started videoing our hunts, and it's definitely a challenging but rewarding deal whenever you can capture it all on film. Some of my first memories of whitetail hunting would be with my dad. You know, he wasn't a big bow hunter. He bow hunted a little bit, but he'd take me gun hunting every year. My first deer that I ever killed, I was in 7th grade. I killed a 135-inch 10-point with opening morning of gun season. Me and Dad had a spot we'd always go to. So that was my first whitetail I ever killed. I was instantly addicted to whitetail hunting after that. Starting with Dad, that really was the drive. My grandpa was one of my big influences in the hunting. Me and my grandpa did a bunch of turkey hunting together and a bunch of grouse hunting and stuff, and we'd all get to group together and hunt. So my grandpa had a big influence in my hunting. And then in my later years, you know, as I moved on and bow hunting, I always tried to include Grandpa or Dad in with it if they could be. Until the day Grandpa died, he loved to be out in the stand, loved to be watching whitetails. So I think I've inherited my grandpa's love for the outdoors, and that there's kind of what my driving force is. Spending time with him in the woods is truly missing. You know, living in Ohio here, we only get one buck tag, so every year I try to find that one deer that, you know, drives me, and that's the deer that I want to kill. And I had this deer that I called Plan B. Me and Holden had recently got this farm, and on November 25th hunt, you know, we were in high hopes. We had good high hopes. We had a front moving through that Plan B would show up. I knew we would lay eyes on him that evening. Seem to be here when he's here, so fingers crossed.
So why does Whitetail Edge use Black Widow deer lures? It's 100% pure whitetail deer urines. It's never brown or broken down. Black Widow deer lures are always fresh, collected and bottled within 24 hours of collection to guarantee freshness. So why should you use Black Widow deer lures? Because it works. Visit www.blackwidowdeerlures.com.
A little brushy field, and we took them through some big tine out in there. Get them does to stop by whenever they're coming through. And we were sitting there, and I told Holden, I said, I hear a deer coming from our right. And I look up, and all I see is beams. He came up there and he gave me a 35-yard shot, and I settled the pin. What the heck happened? That's just part of it. You know, some of them you win, some of them you lose, and that deer lives to see another day. I actually switched to a different deer, and I ended up hunting a deer that we called the Longtail 8.
So with this hunt with Cody, you know, they've got their redneck blind set up. Well, with the way things are happening, they had to make a quick switch, and they knew they didn't have time to totally remove this blind, reset it up for this wind direction and weather pattern, because they knew they had to kill this deer right now.
So I took the muzzleloader in, and we threw a couple hawks up, climbed up in, and you know, it was probably an hour before dark. I look over on the hillside, and the field's starting to fill up with deer. The cornfield, the winter wheat and turnip field had a bunch of deer in it. And I look over on the hillside, and here comes the Longtail 8 down across the holler, and it seemed like it took forever for that deer to get in there.
Right.
Man, give me some. That's the deer we come in here after. We have worked our tail ends off this year trying to kill a big mature deer. And that deer right there, that is the third encounter we've had in 4 sits with that deer. And I told Holden, I said, I got a gut feeling tonight's the night. It has been a year. It's been tough, real tough. It's gonna be a celebration tonight. We're gonna pack in the truck and head to the ATA. We're liable to get there at 3 o'clock in the morning, but I don't even care. We got a deer down. You know, going into this season, there was a little bit more stress on us because, you know, this is the first year that we have actually ever filmed for a show. You know, the anticipation of being able to kill a deer for whitetail edge, you know, it was just overwhelming, really. You know, once you finally connect and know that you got that deer down, it's just like a major relief off of you to realize that all your hard work and all your dedication has finally paid off. Deer we call the old Longtail 8. This deer's tail is extremely long, longer than any deer I've ever seen before. So this is actually my first buck with the muzzleloader. I've hunted all year with the Hoyt. Last night was the first night I took a gun. I went to another farm to try to harvest a 9.5-year-old 8-point that I've had on camera for years, and never seen him. And tonight, I knew that stand that we were going to be hanging, I wasn't going to have an opportunity with the bow there, so I elected to bring the muzzleloader tonight. And this being my first muzzleloader buck, so. We had this one in range at the beginning of this cold front. Just it took to the tail end whenever it was changing to go out. I mean, I just had a gut feeling whenever the wind switched from the south that we'd get an opportunity at this deer. So I'm thankful we stayed tonight, and truly blessed to be able to do it. Main thing with these big deer is you can't pressure them. You have to wait for the right weather to hunt these big deer.
Stay tuned for scenes of next week's episode. Whitetail Edge is brought to you by Black Widow Deer Lures, Hoyt, Rocky, Hawk Tree Stands, Rogue Bowstrings, Redneck Hunting Blinds, Rage Broadheads, True Fire Releases, Ohio Food Plot Services, HHA Sports, Antler King, HD200 Ionic Mineral, Upwind Odor Elimination, Big Time, Black Eagle Arrows, Bronc Box, Exodus Trail Cameras, Wicked Ridge Outfitters, and by Woodbury Outfitters.
I don't even know what to say.
Unbelievable.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.